lot. Is Boom, um, is it more like a DraftKings or is it more like Playline?
It's more like neither.
Okay.
It is a much more casual game that is built around player comparison. So on any given slate, it's who's gonna do better, this guy or this guy, and
And so that could be like receptions, yards.
yeah, the typical. So we have a 4 question jackpot, and it's like passing yards, rushing yards, receiving yards, and then the last question we call our like lightning question is an usually an exact yardage total.
Okay, cool. Can I see that somewhere? Should I go to like a website to pull that up? Because
You
I want to
don't
talk
want you
about
just
that.
download Boom, man.
Well, yeah, I can definitely do that. I just want to be make sure because I want to talk about this. So let's see. Because on the show sheet here, like Blake wrote up, so Brady or golf passing yard. So is that one that you definitely want to cover?
Yeah. It's Brady Goff passing yards, and then it's who's going to be the leading rusher. You can imagine what 4 rushers we have there.
Cool. Awesome. So it's just who's going to do better, and you don't have to guess a specific. Like it's not better than 250 yards, but it's just who's going to have more.
Exactly. It's just one or the other. And here, this is the. I'm putting a picture in the chat, and then this is for basketball, just so you have an idea.
Okay, cool. By the way, can you hear me very
I
clearly
hear
right
you
now?
perfectly, my guy.
Awesome,
I
awesome,
wish I
awesome.
knew what was going on with my streaming software. I wonder if something is going on with being on Zoom. No, that's never been a problem before, I don't think. Live
Okay, are you
streaming.
are you streaming live right now?
Yeah, but I
Awesome.
don't
That's awesome.
see it anywhere. Oh, now it's live. Okay. Took a couple minutes to kick. Yeah,
Okay,
I'm
cool.
going to go live
Are you streaming
and
live?
I'm going to put it in the Boom app.
So this is some B-roll of the hot take because we haven't even started recording over here.
Yeah,
So
but nobody watches the live shows. It's on like I use my private YouTube and then I drop it into the Boom app.
nice.
So it can be
That's sick. That's
yeah,
really cool.
just forever. This is not my normal voice. I have lost my voice. Last week I had the flu, so
Yeah,
I normally talk in a much different tone. This is just where I am at today.
I could say the same, dude. Monday I was out like a light, man. Like I literally slept, for like fucking like 14 hours,
That
that
is
day.
kind of
I was
awesome, but brutal.
it well it I needed it. I felt so rejuvenated, but like I was done, man. I was coughing up stuff, and it was bad, man. It was
Yikes!
it was a bad time. It was a bad time.
I I I I, I lost it from just from getting sick, just from
Yeah,
putting my head in the toilet over and over again. Took my voice
right,
away, and I got to make
right.
videos for Boom every day. I make these short 1 minute videos, and it was a disaster. Let me tell you that.
Oh man, that's rough.
And then yeah, just even going to work without a voice. For me, I talk a lot, so I love having my voice and making my opinion known. And I went
Right,
to a Royal Rumble party with like 8 people, and they know me. And as soon as they figured out that I wasn't going to be able to talk, they're like, "Wow, this is interesting,"
right.
because I have things to share. But I am
Yeah.
unable to. We flirted with the whiteboard idea, but the problem was like that I didn't like is that whenever I held the whiteboard, it was like, oh, Rick's gonna write something, and then it was
Right.
like not the same as kind of loses its pop. I don't know. It was a bad look.
I hear you. Like everyone's waiting, and then
Yeah, and then if the joke's not funny, then it's just like then it was gonna make a whole room groan.
right, and like pretty much everything that you write has to be good because you can't like waste the
Exactly.
whiteboard moment.
Oh, and I wanted to make like a really off-color joke, but the word that was the punchline is funnier said than read because like if I don't know, it's like a weird.
That's funny, man.
It
Oh
was
yeah,
a
because
dumb.
you do
If
stand up
I
comedy, don't you?
what
Don't you do stand up comedy?
I did stand up. I keep it in my
Dude,
picture because it's fun. But I
that's
did.
awesome.
I
How long did you do stand up for?
I did it for like a year in college. It
So
was a class
that's
at
like
Willie
the
P.
hardest job as far as I'm concerned. That's one of the hardest jobs.
Oh, it's such a great lifestyle though. Just wake up at like
Yeah,
4 o'clock.
right.
Um, it is a grind. The thing about stand up that is difficult is that if you were to be a musician, you could sit in your garage in your band and play your notes and play everything perfect. And then you would say, that sounds good. And you would get on stage at a show and play the exact same thing. But a comedian literally never knows what's funny until he goes up on stage and tries it, he or she.
Sure.
Right?
Sure.
So all your work, there's your offstage work, but none of it matters if you don't get on stage and try it. So
Yeah.
it's all about audience time and minutes, which
Right.
you can't get in the middle of the day.
Right.
Like, you can only harness this little thing, audience reaction. And even then, I've been to open mic shows and like and shows, like open mic shows are usually filled with other comics. So even
Right.
then it's hard to get a read on what's actually funny. You could work on a joke for a year and never know that's actually not funny.
Exactly. Well, and then, but the problem is too, I would imagine, is just because a joke doesn't land one night, I mean, it could be funny in another crowd, delivered
Exactly.
a different way. But
Or because you switch to the order of two words.
What's that?
Or like your punchline was you switched just one thing around.
Oh, right. Yes.
And that completely changed the audience reaction.
Yep.
No, that's a really real thing.
I look at, and like I really enjoy stand up, and
Yeah.
I've seen a lot live. It's always been something that I judge very critically. I'm like,
Love
oh,
it.
no, that sucks. Like, I like to be like a judge when it comes to like stand up. And yeah, I went to shows in LA and shows in San Francisco like very often when I was living on the West Coast.
Nice.
And you know what's funny and what's not, and like really what gets you going, what and who's good and who's not. And I feel like of all of the people that are out right now, I feel like John Mulaney is like top tier,
Dude.
just because his storytelling is just so good. He's just so articulate, and he can tell a story so well that like it can be not necessarily funny, but the way he tells it makes it funny.
I completely agree. Somebody in one of my group chats actually pitched that the other day. They were like, is John Mulaney like a god tier comic right now, above with like the legends of legends? And we kind of tore him up about it just based on a longevity thing, but I won't deny that right now he's absolutely at the top of the game. But we've literally never been in a better time for comedy.
Yeah, everyone's getting a special on Netflix.
Not even just Netflix. There's just so many places where you can get seen, you know?
Right. Yeah, definitely.
When I took my college class, my professor's guy named was Steve Rosenfield. He used to work with Jim Gaffigan. He used to say the old mantra used to be get good, get seen, get paid. And the new mantra is get good, get seen. Because there's just, you're always going to get, or I think it's just get good, get paid. Because there's so many ways to get seen now.
Right.
I had a feeling that I wasn't going to be a stand-up comic when I realized that I wasn't always funny on Twitter, because Twitter comedians are freaking incredible.
Like, you mean people that just post funny things?
There are comedy writers that are just so outrageously good at Twitter and are able to just destroy and get massive amounts of retweets. And then I know, I'll see a person that I like on Twitter and I will follow them, and then I'll be like, oh shit, they write for The Good Place. Like these people are comedy writers.
Right. That's sick, dude. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. That's very interesting to me. I could talk about this for a while.
Who else do you like?
Well, I don't know. Like, I think that as far as stand-up, that's out right now, there's really not a lot that grabs me, to be honest, man. And I think that's just me in general, though, because like I'll watch The Office like every night, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, so, but there are guys that are out there. Like, there's that one. I think he's really smart, but I don't think he's very good. I can tell you who I don't like, and he's that guy who he has a show on Netflix now, that's kind of political, and he'll dive into because he's I believe he's from Pakistan. He's really smart, really articulate.
Hassan Minhaj.
Yes, and he was on
The Daily Show.
Yep, and he was on Comedians Drinking Coffee, in Cars Drinking Coffee. He was on an episode of that, and I felt as if, like when I watched that episode with Jerry Seinfeld, because Jerry Seinfeld, I feel like all that is he's gonna break you down if you're not very funny. like in that show.
Yeah.
Like literally, you'll like watch it and like he just kind of picks people apart subtly.
He knows comedy a
Oh
little
man,
bit.
well yeah, he does, and he's very like cocky about it.
Comedy's an art to him. He reveres it, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
He
So I
respects it
felt
so
like
much that he commands the same amount of respect from you.
I felt like that dude wasn't that funny with Jerry Seinfeld. Like, and I know that being in that situation can be
Oh, it's got to be nerve-wracking to be in that
Yeah.
situation.
yeah. So, but I don't like his stuff in general. Like, but I think that he's, again, a great storyteller. I just don't think he's very funny. I don't know. How do you feel about him?
He's okay.
Yeah.
I give a little bit of a prop to political comics because, that's not easy. John
Yeah.
Mulaney can work on a bit for 2 years, and, Hasan Minhaj has to turn it around in 3 weeks. So I love topical humor because I love that higher degree of difficulty, but I'm not going to go out and see Hasan Minhaj's new special. Like, I'm never going to rush and go do that.
Yeah.
When we're talking about top comedians, the guy who I had in mind that I would have been very excited if you said is Sebastian Maniscalco.
Oh, okay. So
That's a guy that I feel like would not have gotten as seen if not
Yeah.
for the era we're in, and is an absolute monster.
yeah, no, he is good. You're right. I've been reluctant to check out his special, but I think I need to. The one that
Oh
just came
God,
out.
you know it's gonna murder though. He is a killer.
You haven't seen it yet?
No.
Oh, okay.
I'm bad with watching things. I'm a gamer and I'm a degenerate gambler. So
Nice.
I'm usually watching sports or playing video games.
Right.
I can never understand. I can't. I'm having a really hard time Netflix binging things.
Yeah, I haven't really watched a lot of new comedy, like a lot of the ones that are out now. I mean, like it's guys that have been around for a while at this point. Like, I don't know if there's anyone that's new that's, I don't know. Like,
It's
there
always
was that.
good. Find someone you never heard of. Did you see Ali Wong's Netflix specials? Those are good.
Oh, you like Ali Wong? Okay.
Ali Wong's really funny. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's on a show right now too. That's really funny. So these comedians, they get sitcom gigs and they just crush it.
Yeah. Blake, are you here?
I have a message that said he's almost home.
Oh wow. Oh, he's not home yet.
Brutal.
Damn.
Jesus.
Yeah. That's
Sorry about that.
Oh, hey.
I'm gonna shut off my furnace so it's not so loud.
I don't hear it.
Okay. Yeah, I don't hear it either.
Oh, you don't?
I'm starting to think you don't have a furnace because we've been through this bit before, Blake.
It's a tired bit.
Oh, that's good. Now there's another guy that I wanted to mention. I'm really bad with names.
I turned it off. I tried it. We'll see. Well, it's still running, but it'll shut off soon.
He's a long-haired guy. I think his name is Chris something. He has a special on Netflix.
Chris D'Elia. I
Yes.
actually don't like him. Of all the top
Really?
comics out right now, I don't like him.
Wow, that's interesting. Why don't you like him?
I don't necessarily like the character work he does, and I don't like loud comics who are like, white people are like this, and
Yeah.
black people are like this. Like, so the same reverence that I have for a higher degree of difficulty, that's the low. That is the low bar, along with jokes about shit and jokes
Yeah.
about your dick. Like, who doesn't love a good dick and shit joke? But I mean, anybody can tell a dick and shit joke.
No, definitely. I
What
agree
up, Blake?
100%. No, D'Elia. The reason why I like him, I'm biased because I'm a big Will Sasso fan. I think he's
Okay.
the funniest motherfucker, and he hangs out with D'Elia a lot. So they post these funny videos, like they used to do vines together that I thought were pretty funny.
So I think Chris D'Elia is funny, and I'll follow him on Twitter, and I
stand
will
up,
see a Vine that he does. But my friends, we took a group trip, 12 dudes to Vegas, and they all paid $60 to go see him. I got way better ways to spend $60 in Vegas.
Agreed.
I was shook that they wanted to go watch that dude sweat for 2 hours.
Dude, I saw Mulaney for cheaper at Radio City Music Hall, which
Oh, you went to one of those Radio City shows?
I did, man. I was out there at the time.
A girl I was
Actually-
seeing offered me an extra ticket, but it was snowing and I chickened out because I'm a big pussy.
It was snowing. Yeah, that's funny. No, what's actually really funny about that is this girl that I was dating in New York, she bought those tickets for me, and then we broke up. I was back in Maryland, and I was like, all right, well, we still gotta see Mulaney, right? So we ended up going.
I'm on this show too. I'm on. That's my ticket, right? That ticket's got my name on it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That's
Because it was
really
either
funny.
me or some other guy.
I think I
Hey,
was the
Blake.
other dude. I think that's how that worked.
Right. Hey, Blake. So this free agents, like rookies, is that just like things to come that we can mention?
Yeah, just like things in the off season, because I don't want people to be like, well, this is the last show. I'm not going to watch it in the off season. They're not going to talk about anything fun. So I just kind of put that in there to like things to look forward to, things to ask us questions about that we could put on shows, things like that.
Nice. Awesome, dude. Yeah, that's a good idea. Um, and then we'll just go into Pat's Rams right away. Introduce Rick. We'll talk about Boom Fantasy, and we'll talk about Boom Fantasy first before we get into the game, and then we'll just go into like the line, kind of just talk about that -3 for the Pats, and the 57-point over under, and then we can get into the props from there.
Perfect.
And then
I'm just putting it up in the app, some tech stuff, but don't mind me.
okay, no
Hey,
problem.
so real quick, what I'm wondering is our show, the thing will cut out after 30 minutes, right?
Yes,
Okay, so how do we want to do that with
we
if you're in
can.
the app, if we have to take a break?
Oh, right.
Which I don't know
What
how
cuts
long
out
the
after
show
30
can take.
minutes?
It might not take more than 30 minutes. Or
Well-
the Zoom meeting lasts for like 30 minutes. And then
Really?
we have to start a new session. Yeah.
Oh, I
Yeah.
had no idea.
It
Well-
kind of sucks, but
Yeah, but then we just like I would just call you back, so I'm not sure how that works
right.
with the app.
That's fine.
I just didn't know because it'd be like because if somebody screws up or something and you're talking, I don't know what it'll be like for you, but
Yeah, would that be
I
a
think it'll
problem?
be fine.
Okay.
Nobody cares.
All right, good. Yeah, that's good.
I
But
didn't
that's
think
actually a
it'd be-
good point, Blake, because I can actually end the meeting right now and call back just so we don't have to do that later.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I just didn't want it. I just didn't want to get in there and then us be like talking shit or something and being on a Boom app or something. I don't know.
Not happening. Not on my watch.
All right, so I just want to make sure.
Nice. Okay. So any other questions before we get into it?
I'm straight, man.
All right, let's get it. I'm gonna start recording. And just alley-oop it to you guys.